Hey everybody, how's it going? Dale here. So when it comes to controlling DJ lighting at an event, you could not ask for a better workflow than the one that SoundSwitch gives you, because you have the flexibility to have as much manual input or as little as you would like. And for me, I just like to be able to set a chill scene during the formalities and cocktail hour and be pretty much hands off during the dance party so I can focus on the music, with the occasional hitting of a strobe during the drop or the cold sparks. And so while performing with SoundSwitch is a dream come true, but there's a little bit of a learning curve when it comes to setting it all up, especially when you want to dial it in to match your artistic vision. And my entire goal of this channel is to provide value for you guys, so I've been trying to show you how to do all the things. I try to show you like how I set up my own shows, but I know a lot of you want to enjoy the benefits of SoundSwitch without having to spend a ton of effort. You're looking for a shortcut, and so that is what I want to talk about today. Since 2022, I have been selling Autoloop presets, and today I am dubbing it the SoundSwitch shortcut. A lot of people tell me like, wow, I had no idea you offered that. I figured I'd create this video, just talk about it a little bit more, show you some of the features, and I never want to BS you and tell you that SoundSwitch is so difficult that you can't figure it out yourself, so you have to buy these presets to even use the software. That is just not true, especially for a software that costs $200 for a lifetime license and $300 for the hardware. This is just to give you like a head start, get up and running, and enjoy the wonderful automated workflow that SoundSwitch offers, so you can just ditch the lighting designer, make training your staff so much easier, and you can just set it and forget it and have an incredible light show that adds tons of value to your company. And honestly, I created this because SoundSwitch has a lot of automation in helping you get set up, which is lovely and it works really well. But there was a few gaps in what like the engine could implement and what my artistic vision was, especially with pixel mappable fixtures. So I put this project together until SoundSwitch implements a more robust effects engine. And so I'm going to go over like the fixtures I'm using, kind of the thoughts behind it, and just know that this project is auto scripting ready. All the fixtures have been patched in and assigned appropriate categories. And this whole project is centered around implementing interesting auto loops and interesting pixel animations for auto loops, because that is what SoundSwitch is most weak on. And there's a few automated tools within the software to implement pixel animations, but they're few and they tend to bounce with every step in the animation, which looks wonky to me. And so the effort on this project has been going on since 2022. I can't really quantify the amount of hours that I've spent onto this. I mean, this is accumulation of me spending like hours on the internet trying to find interesting pixel animations, accumulation of like all the feedback that I received from you guys from my coaching calls, and me using this project within my own multi-op and some of the challenges and some of the fixes I've found. And so before I dive into like which fixtures I'm including, note that you get 31 auto loops. It's missing this bottom one so that you can implement your own, you can try things out. You're getting the attribute keys for the movers. You're getting positions for the movers. All of the fixtures have been imported and they have been assigned various groups as well as like auto scripting categories. I should mention too that I have cold sparklers for 3-channel and 2-channel models, which is I think all of them. And they've been mapped to the smoke atmospheric button, so you can just push the smoke button on your control one or on your software panel, so you don't have to like navigate to the static scenes to push the cold sparkler button. It's just right there. Part of that workflow is that you have to like push the remote to clear it at the end of the night, which I don't feel like is that big a deal. And you're getting a bunch of static looks. Some are like static colors, and then some are tactical, and we'll go over this in just a few moments as well. And there's one major challenge that this project aims to solve, and that is that not every DJ gig requires the same number of lights. Some need more, some need less, and we don't want to have to program a new show for every variation of our setup. So this project is meant to be scalable, meaning that you can increase the number of lights or reduce them and the show still works. And each of these auto loops, you can remove one of those groups of lights and the auto loop still works. Don't feel like bringing movers to a gig? It'll work. 2 movers, 4 movers, fantastic. 4 pixel tubes, 6, 8, not a problem. And I'll explain why in just a few moments. And I've included 4 main groups of lights, which I'll go over in just a few moments, but I have uplights, pixel tubes, a dance floor wash, washing the floor, and movers. Another challenge with implementing a SoundSwitch preset pack is that not everyone uses the same fixtures. So I try to think of more of the design of the groups of lights, like how well they all mesh together, more than programming individual fixtures. I try to make it as easy as possible to replace individual fixtures in the groups of lights so you can retain the design with minimal work. Replacing washers and pars is pretty easy. Movers are a little bit more involved with the gobos, prisms, and focus. And eye candy is extremely difficult. And I'll have a video detailing how to do this in more detail. So let me quickly explain like my demo that I have today. Because I feel like it's important if you're going to be spending like a significant amount of money on a light show, you should actually see the light show. I have SoundSwitch opened right here with the SoundSwitch shortcut, and I have my visualizer MA3D. And this project right here, this visualizer project, like with all of the fixtures you need to import, as well as this venue with all of the lights displayed like this, I am including as part of this project as well, so that if you have a Windows machine, you can just get up and running right away. This is a Chase, an Autoloop just running. I can just choose any one of these Autoloops. And so like I mentioned, there's 4 main groups of lights. You have your uplights, your pixel tubes, your washes on the dance floor, and your movers. And so here I have like 4 unique addresses for the uplights, and I personally use the both IR4, but this profile works with pretty much just any generic uplight, and you can replace these yourself with your own uplights. It's not super hard. I have a video that you can check out to see how to do that. And I used to use unique addresses for every single uplights. So if I had 24 uplights, I had 24 unique addresses, but there's like some huge issues with going with that approach. If you have chases with 24 unique uplight addresses, you have to spend a lot more time placing the uplights around the room in order. And what happens if the venue is not big enough for 24 uplights to make sense? What happens if one of the uplights die? Like your chases will look really weird if it's not in order and not every single uplight is part of the chase. So by having 4 unique addresses, you have the best of both worlds. You have the ability to create like some texture and some dynamics and be flexible enough to meet the needs of your venue. You only need 4 uplights that you're gonna put on a T-bar? No problem. You want 60 uplights around a big venue? Again, no problem. With patching, you're able to accomplish that. So for the pixel tubes, I have 4 of them in 80 channel mode. I chose 80 channel mode because it gives you 16 individual zones, and there's some really cool patterns that you can implement if you have that many zones you can control. Just like with the uplights, with the patching, it's the same principle. You can have 6 of these, 8 or 16, and you can just divide these unique addresses in different ways and patch them. And I wanted to create chases that were good looking with the smallest amount that someone might use, because if I create chases for 8 but you only bring 4, the chase would look off. And honestly, if you wanted to have like 8 unique addresses, you could just put these in 40 channel mode and it would work. And in the past, what I have done too is I've had separate projects, like one for 4 pixel tubes, one for 6, one for 12, and it just didn't work out very well because you have to maintain all of them and you're repeating yourself a lot, and it's a lot of maintenance. You miss some things. I mean, this is just a better way to do it. So this light show is really designed around 2 movers. So if you want to have like 8 movers, 4 movers, you can just patch them. Like one of my most popular SoundSwitch demo videos, I'm actually just using 2 unique addresses and I have them like crisscross. So all the positions have been programmed in and they've been dispersed among all the different auto loops, and the different positions have been optimized to keep the movers pointing towards the dance floor, never behind the DJ booth. And you know, Chauvet has their totem mode, but you don't need like a special mover. When you have DMX software, you can just program that functionality in. In fact, anything that can be programmed in DMX should be programmed in DMX. I don't want you to have to reconfigure your hardware before every show, especially if you're in a multi-op with several multi-operators. You don't have to mess around with the pan/tilt inversion. The light show has some chases where the beams are inverted, some where they're offset, and some where they go the same direction to ensure your light show doesn't become too predictable. Also, it's a nightmare when trying to set positions in static scenes and the light's not pointing where it's supposed to because of some setting configured on the mover. Trust me, I've been there. So this is just to simplify your life so you're not having to keep track of all these various settings. And I also have like all of like the gobos, prisms, and beam angles attribute cues set so that you can use them as you'd like, but I already have some dispersed among all the different auto loops. And I'm trying to make this easy so that you can add your own fixtures that haven't been added, and I'll go over that in a different video. But I've already added a bunch of the more popular movers like the both lighting spots, the Mac Aura washes, as well as several Chauvet models. And then I have a wash for the dance floor. And after meeting with a lot of you guys have like some version of the Chauvet wash effects 2, wash effects hex. And it's just going to be a single address without any pixel mapping. Because I feel like if you have too much pixel mapping in your show, it gets to be a little chaotic. And so these both pixel tubes, they're going to be the start of the show. They're going to be doing all these crazy animations, and wash effects is just going to be throwing wash onto your dance floor, the ceiling, or wherever you want to throw that wash. And we'll let the pixel tubes be the eye candy. And like I mentioned, this is auto scripting ready. Like each of these groups are assigned an appropriate category for auto scripting, so you can just be up and running doing that. And each of these fixtures are assigned a group. So when it's performance time, you can adjust like the group intensity. Like perhaps you want your movers to be a little bit dimmer, you can adjust like group 3, which is the one I have assigned for the movers. Or if your wash effects is just way too bright, or you want it off during cocktail hour, I have that assigned to like group 4, so you can just turn that all the way down. Here, I'm gonna switch this to performance mode. So anytime you're performing in SoundSwitch, just know that you have like this page right here, and I already mentioned like what the group intensities do, but there's like these color ones. So these animations, like when you press these colors, it's gonna also change the animation color for most of these. And so these are kind of fun to just like play around and do stuff with. And you can like strobe, you can adjust like the strobe rate. And I actually have some cool strobes as part of the static scenes, which we'll go over in just a few moments. Don't forget white, turning everything white. That's like really cool to do like on a hit or to accentuate something. Don't forget the blackout, or UV is kind of like a soft blackout, because all of your pars that have UV will just be like really dim, but everything else will be off. And this smoke button is really important. I have cold spark machines wired to this button, 2 and 3 channels, so I personally use a 2-channel cold sparkler, and I just love being able to just push this button right away. But yeah, on the control 1, this is just my cold sparkler button, and I love it. I hold it, cold sparklers go off. I remove it, cold sparklers turn off. And then of course you have like all of these auto loops. There's 31 of them. You can choose any one of these. And I'll explain like the 4 banks really quick too. So bank 1 and bank 2, these are just full of like different pixel animations. And like you can see, some of them have like offsets, they're all different colors. And I try to make all the colors look good together with various color schemes. And if you're a color theory nerd, I try to implement like complementary schemes, monochromatic, analogous, and more. Bank 3 is like colorful stuff. You basically can use any one of these for like a slow dance, but I didn't want to dedicate an entire bank to slow dances, because are you playing 25% slow dances at your events? Because I'm not, so I didn't want to dedicate 25% of the auto loops to slow dances. But yeah, these are just really colorful. And then this last one is like flashy, and so I think all of these like auto loops can like be used like for any part of like the dance party, but this might be a little bit more flashy for like later on after the old folks have gone. And just note that you can like repeat auto loops too, so if it's a slow dance, you can just click repeat, and then there you go. Got some beautiful fades, some romantic white spots just moving around the venue. Beautiful. Okay, now let's go to the static looks. So when you like choose a color here, your pixel animation is going to be replaced with like a solid color, which is sometimes what you want. So like right now, this is antique white. This is like the chill scene I use at most of my events. And what's great is you can edit this as well. And you can like adjust the amount of white and amber to kind of like match the lighting of your venue. So that's just something I do on the fly at the event. Yeah, there's cool whites and there's pink. The visualizer doesn't really do a great job of capturing this, but I'm mixing like red and white, purple and white, just amber, blue and white, just to give you like some more pastel colors, because these performance pads, I wanted to give you something different than just what these offer you. And so this is like a money shot. Like this is a really nice look where all your lights are a solid color and then your tubes are white. I just think that looks really elegant. And then you can invert it. When you're at the venue, you can just change the color. It's like, I don't want pink, I want blue, I want red, I want whatever. You can just change these colors to what suits your style. If you look at this antique white, all of the lights are pointed on the ground, and that is deliberately. So your movers, you can like choose a position. So right now they're down, they could very well just be up. Well, I need to choose the lights that are in the visualizer. And then some of them you see like the movers moving, and that is because I have this through here. So you might not want that, you might want to adjust the position. And what's cool too is if when you're trying to figure out like where the center of the dance floor is, if you're going to do like a spotlight dance, you can edit the positions right in here and adjust these positions. And you get all of these useful positions and they're all pointing out towards the dance floor. And so you can add your own positions, but I've included all these positions for the movers. And then I have 4 different strobes. Now here is an auto loop. It's just playing automatically because we are in standalone mode. And so when it's time for like the drop, you can just hit the strobe where everything is dropping. This is like the big excitement. And so all the lights strobing white is really exciting, and it's a really good scene to have, but you don't want to overuse it. And so I have group strobes to only strobe certain groups of lights. So when you use the all strobe, it'll have more impact. So I have like all the various groups strobing. So like right now, like the uplights, just the tubes, just the movers, and just the washes, which I don't have a wash right here in the visualizer. And so these strobes are a great way to add a little bit of manual input into your shows to give it a little bit of extra excitement. And another one of my favorite ways to add manual input to your auto loops is this white button. So I decided to take this concept a little bit further and apply it to various groups as well as individual tubes. And I've done this like in a different gig log, so I'm just applying it here. Some of you were asking me about it, calling it like hot shots, hot spots. I don't know the nomenclature you're all using, but I'm just calling it white triggers. So you push this button, the uplights turn white, the tubes can all turn white, the movers can all turn white, and then the tubes go 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can just follow the beat while doing this, and this just gives a little bit of more manual input, a little more excitement. And yeah, it's especially great if you're running lighting for another DJ or a band. My final static scenes is this alternating chase. And so red and white are my college's colors. Go Utes. I have an alternate, so you can like do this type of chase. And I know another one of the popular schools out here in Utah that you may have heard of is BYU. So their color is blue and white, so you can adjust the white to be blue. Or if it's Christmas, you can change this white to be green. Whatever your use case, it alternates. It's fun. And yeah, this is basically it. I have other videos showing you how to like download this and get started. The SoundSwitch shortcut is just that, a shortcut so that you can get some nice lighting, get up and running, and focus on the DJing. So you don't have to spend like hours mastering light show creation just to get it up and running. So thank you so much for watching. And if you're looking to learn more, I'm creating a course right now, and you can join the waiting list, and I have a link in the description below. Well, thank you so much for watching. Please smash like and subscribe. This really helps my channel grow, and I'll see you in the next video.